First story. Wife made a mistake. But I can't stop thinking about it. My 43M wife, 40F, have been married over 20 years. Kids, mortgage, normal happy life. No arguments, no resentments, no underlying problems of any kind. Now it's all in pieces and I don't know where we go from here. My wife works in public service and heads a small team. Her, 2 younger girls and a 20-something guy. I know, you know, but let me get it out there. Her team delivered a project that was good enough to earn an award of some sort. A fancy do at a posh hotel. I had no problem staying home with the kids while her and her team enjoyed their night they had all worked hard for. She went all out, new dress, fancy hair, the works, and she looked stunning. I realized I'd taken her for granted a bit, just seeing her in sweats. No makeup or whatever, but since the kids she's worked hard to get her figure back, still has the curves in the right places. I'd not seen her dressed up for so long, and I told her I was gutted I wouldn't be with her and celebrate together, wink wink. She said she'd make it up to me and we kissed, and that feels like the last time I will ever be happy again. She came home next day, and I just knew 20-odd years together you really know that person, and as soon as I saw her, I felt a knot in my stomach. I went to kiss her and she pulled away, couldn't look me in the eye. I asked her if we needed to talk and we did. She'd drunk too much and had got caught up in the excitement. The young guy had been giving her attention, and she couldn't believe he was flirting with her over the other 2 younger girls. She'd liked the attention. They'd walked up to their rooms, he'd kissed her, and she let herself go with it. Honestly, I thought I was going to be sick. Actually vomit. I didn't know that was possible from feelings. I called her all the names, slammed stuff in my bag. She cried and begged me to stay, but I had to get away, so I've been staying with a mate. So far so cliché. She texted and phoned, which I ignored for a fortnight but eventually agreed to meet and talk it through. It's over in my eyes, but it was like I had to feel all the pain that was there. So I told her if there was a chance of getting back I had to know everything. Everything. I grilled her about the whole night. Whenever I thought she was lying or sparing my feelings, I made her spill it all. Every detail. How many times, too. Who initiated the second round? He had. Did you suck his dick? Yes. Did he go down on you? Yes. Did that make you come? Yes. Did he make you come when he was fucking you? Yes. Was he bigger than me? About the same. What positions? Pretty much all. Condoms? No. I just kept going. Every answer ripped me apart, but I couldn't stop. She didn't want to answer, but I kept going. Where did he come? First time in her mouth. She does that for me sparingly as she knows I like it, but she's not keen. She's used to me letting her know when it's about time, but he took her by surprise and came in her mouth. Had she swallowed? Yes. Second time over her chest. In your ass? No. It was sort of a joke question because it's not something she's ever done, but I could tell she was not saying something. She had let him use his tongue there. Never done that with me. That one hurt. She had just lost herself to the situation. Did he pull your hair while he fucked you from behind? He had. Did you get on your knees for him? Did he bend you over? Did you look him in the eyes while you had his dick in your mouth? Yes. Yes, probably. Really painted myself a picture. Every answer was dragged out of her through tears and sobs, but I wanted her to hurt. I wanted to make her feel like shit. I wanted to feel like shit. If I even had thought knowing everything would let me work through it into forgiveness, it's not worked. It's on my mind constantly. It's like a porn movie playing in my head on a loop. Can't work. Can't eat. Can't sleep. The worst is that when I got drunk to drown the sorrows, really drunk, I ended up wanking thinking about it all. How fucked up is that? It's literally the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And it's not like that's even my kink, it's not something that's ever turned me on. It's just got me so confused and despairing. I'm fantasizing about the night, what it was like, what went through her head. Imagining walking in, catching them, joining in, or kicking fuck out of him, fucking her while he's in a bloody heap on the floor. I think it's really fucked me up psychologically. That's why I'm getting it all out here on a throwaway. If I can write it down, share it out, maybe I can start to get over it. But it's like I'm addicted to the pain of it, keep reliving it all. I've barely talked to the kids, no idea what she's told them. I've told her it's unforgivable and it's over. I don't want her back. I don't even want to look at her again. But I don't want advice, or sympathy or judging, I just want to get it all out of my head. Thanks and end of story. Second story. I, 41M, found hidden photos of a colleague on wife's 41F phone. Have I been betrayed? First ever here looking to get advice. This started 3 years ago and remains distressing and unresolved. My wife of 11 years and I had been out for a wonderful day with our kids watching cricket. When we got home I was looking at photos and was aware wife had taken some of me and the kids too. Spotted her phone next to me so opened it to look at photos. We had never been secretive with phones so didn't give any thought about secrecy, privacy, etc. Looking through recent photos there were several of her in our garden looking seductive and partially undressed over the preceding few weeks. There was a series of 4 selfies taken over a period of about 10 minutes, the previous week 1 in bikini frowning, 1 in bikini smiling, 1 bikini top off but lay on front smoldering and breasts partially covered, no nipples on show. 1 over-shoulder selfie with pants off so can see bum over her shoulder. Having never before dug through her phone or even wanted to, my instant reaction was one of excitement that she was feeling sexy and had taken these. I got excited that there may be more and more explicit in her hidden folder. I opened up her hidden folder to find about 16 photos of her male work colleagues, various of him in his garden smiling selfies, 1 without a shirt on, 1 where he is in her car in work clothes and she has taken the photo of him smiling. There were no other pictures in the hidden folder, just him. I got a huge shock and was fairly instantly crushed. I shut the phone and put it down, immediately feeling guilty for looking in the first place. I kept quiet for a day or so while I stewed on it. I got some evidence of the photos of her, but didn't think to get the photos of him. As I thought about it, I convinced myself she was cheating on me and that I needed to confront her as we were likely to need to divorce. 2 days after seeing the photos I confronted her about it. Initially she denied knowing anything about it. She kept this up for a while. She claimed she had no idea why or how these photos were in the hidden folder. Prior to this incident we had an okay sex life. However, she never initiated sex and was quite passive and prudish, never really offering much when I tried to mix things up or find out what she liked. I had always just assumed that she was more sexually repressed than me, and I loved her so much and was so certain she was committed to me that I was totally accepting of our different levels of sexual desire. Having found the photos and confronted her, we had lots of long conversations with her, ultimately apologizing for hurting me, but not acknowledging that she had done anything wrong, still claiming no idea why or how the photos were in a hidden folder. The conversations were long and quite fatiguing, and after some weeks I basically accepted her apology and we agreed to work on our difference in sexual desire. Over time, life and kids and routine returned to more normal. However, every day since then I still think about the betrayal I felt. Our sex life is effectively exactly the same as it was before this. We still get on well most of the time, and we have 3 wonderful kids still who are none the wiser. In the 3 years since, there have been 2 further periods when I have not been able to ignore my hurt any longer. The last time was October last year, when I felt obliged to go to a work do where the colleague she had hoarded photos of was also going. I told her I felt really uncomfortable, but I agreed to go. Afterwards I was unable to think clearly and we had to revisit things again. At this point, over 2 years after the initial incident, she changed her story about why she had put the photos in the hidden folder. admitting she did feel attracted to him, but there was nothing else which happened. She stated her attraction was based on how loving he was with his family and how much he talked about them at work and how much he focused on them. I'm writing now because I still can't let it go. I love her deeply and don't want to lose her. However, I don't think she has any sexual desire for me and may be stringing me along. Though I'm not sure why, as I have calmly given her multiple opportunities to walk away or change the relationship. I don't think she has done any more photo-text emotional cheating, but she remains sexually very cool and reluctant with me. It's really hard to be objective and make sensible decisions. I'd really welcome the thoughts from people who have been in a similar situation. Have I been cheated on? Am I right to feel betrayed? How can I get her to open up and be honest about why she is sexually cold with me, but sexually adventurous in her own photos and stored pictures of her colleague in the hidden folder? Wife hiding photos of her male colleague on phone. Have I been betrayed? Is it worth attempting salvage? Update. Think this is big part of problem. Though want to forgive her, but you're right, literally every single day since it happened it bothers me. Tends to cycle every few months. It builds to point of being really difficult. The trust is damaged, and the fact she denied knowing how and why the photos were hidden initially makes that worse. She also subsequently deleted the photos, so before I had chance to calm down and look back at timestamps and such, I have been able to do this on the photos of her which I got copies of. But I was so shell-shocked I didn't get copies of pictures of him before she deleted them. I have it quite a helpful process trying to make a timeline of events from the photo timestamps, but because she deleted the photos of him, this will forever be an incomplete picture. Wish I had been calmer and gathered more information before confronting her. I just expected her to be more honest when confronted with undeniable evidence. Third story. Long-distance relationship. Girlfriend cheated 2 weeks before the end of a year apart. It's been 2 weeks since I found out my GF cheated on me in her country while we were apart. I moved to her country in 2020 and lived there for over 3 years. Met her pretty soon into arriving there. Pretty good relationship for the most part that whole time. A lot of love and I felt completely secure in the relationship. Then I got an opportunity for a scholarship to do postgraduate study. That would mean I could attain a more successful career in her country down the line. But it meant me returning to my country, 5,000 miles away, for the year. She was unable to go at that time. But we discussed it over a few weeks and reached a mutual decision that I'd go and we'd make things work long distance. It was a tough year. She came to visit over Christmas for 5 weeks, but I didn't see her the entire year. Besides that, I was stupidly busy with my course and she was very busy with work, and we weren't as good as we'd hoped to be with contact. Still, we managed and nearly reached the end of it when I found out that she'd had an affair just a few weeks before she was supposed to move here and live with me. I'd already got a place for us to stay, even. I was absolutely gutted and broke up with her and told her not to come here, but she came anyway and wants to reconcile. She's been staying at my place the last 5 days. We've talked. I understand why she did what she did. I believe she is genuinely remorseful and willing to put effort into change and earn me back. But I am really struggling. I'm not so much bothered about the sex as I'm quite sex positive and don't have any insecurities in that regard. It's the emotional side of her affair and lying that gets to me. Mostly though it's the fact that I didn't snoop the entire year. Not once, and then the one time my instincts got the better of me and I did. There was instant proof of an affair. She swears blind that it was the only time she cheated, and I never found anything to suggest it wasn't. But I don't know how I can ever trust that. It seems improbable, at the least. When I found out I thought I wasn't actually that bothered, but now having spent some time with her, and remembering why I love her I am. It was a rough year all round for me, and I clung to the thought that this summer she'd move here. I feel empty now. Is it worth trying to make this work, or am I clinging to the corpse of our relationship? For what it's worth, if it had just been a one-time drunken mistake without any feelings, I would have put it past me by now, I think, but it was an affair. Fourth story. Did I cross a line with my married coworker, and should I tell my husband? I, 26F, met my coworker, 37M, a year and a half ago. Him and I bonded immediately due to our nationality. I also helped him a lot when he first started by showing him how to navigate our company systems and culture. We work in similar but separate departments and a lot of our work overlaps. At the time we met, a lot of us were working a hybrid schedule and we were very understaffed. So a lot of the time I had no one to talk to except for him. This made it so that we bonded even more. Over time, the company has hired more people, so our team has grown. Well, I get along very well with everyone. The coworker in question is my work bestie. Today, my boss called me into his office and basically said, I am telling you this because I care about you and your professional growth and career. But the way you interact with your coworker is being scrutinized, and I recommend that you are more mindful of it. I personally don't care what you do and I have never seen anything I am uncomfortable with, but I just want you to know that others are looking. I was shocked. I told him this. I said I really am confused because I have never done anything to make him or anyone else believe our relationship is more than friendly coworkers. At first I felt shocked and betrayed because I thought my team, which includes my coworkers' team, had my back and we all got along great. But clearly, people are talking behind my back. So all day I've been thinking about this, and I was very dry with him. He asked if I had brought lunch so we could eat together. I told him I was too busy to have lunch today. I basically didn't speak to him, and I felt bad about it, but I am not trying to fuel this thing. So now, I need some stranger opinions to tell me if my coworker and I are being inappropriate. I will try to be as objective as possible. Here are some of the possible things that may have caused this. We always have lunch together. He will ask me, hey, did you bring lunch most days? And when we both brought lunch, we will go and eat it together in the break room. Sometimes if I don't bring lunch, I go out and buy it alone and eat alone. Other times if we both didn't bring lunch, we will take a short drive to pick something up together. All our lunches are taken in public places where anyone can walk in and join us or hear our conversations. We talk about personal stuff during our lunch. Our plans, whatever we are stressed about, we support and encourage each other. When I have a difficult project or task and am feeling stressed, he will help me, and vice versa. Either by giving a pep talk or by actually helping because we both have specific skills in our roles that complement each other. We message each other on Teams a lot. Not every day though. But for example, he will ask me how I'm doing. I'll say I'm tired, I want to go home, and we will complain about wanting to go home. Again, this isn't every day. If I work from home, we don't usually talk. We keep each other updated on what's going on in the office. Company make jokes about wanting to quit for the day to end, etc., etc. Again, never anything sexual in nature, just very friendly. We stop by each other's offices and make small talk. We talk about our weekend, our pets, our work, etc. Again, this is a pretty public office where anyone can walk in and listen. Nothing we discuss is ever inappropriate. The one thing we do that may be inappropriate, and that maybe people think is weird. We share soda and food. We like the same type of soda, but we are both very health conscious, so when we want to cheat on our diet, we buy one soda and split it. We always use separate cups, of course, and sometimes he pays for the soda, other times I pay. When there's donuts in the break room, we will grab one and break it in half. Because we are both calorie cautious and prefer not to waste food. Last week I had a very long meeting, and when I got out he handed me half of a soda as a here so you can decompress gesture. Anyway, I guess I need to stop having one-on-one interactions with this coworker. This bums me out for two reasons. For one, I will miss having someone that helps make the workday less stressful and more fun. And two, I cannot believe my team members think this way of me. I guess I am also concerned about needing to tell my husband about what my boss said. He knows about my coworker and I talk about him all the time. My husband has never had an issue with him. I also need to add that my coworker and I don't talk outside of work at all. Our interactions are confined to the MF85 schedule. So tell me, did I cross a line? My friendliness with a coworker has turned into rumors and backlash at work. But I don't think I've done anything wrong. For sure. I do plan on talking to him. However, there's very little privacy in our office, so today felt a bit impossible. I do wonder if his boss is also going to tell him something. There absolute isn't any attraction between us. We are both very much happily married. The only reason I am worried about telling my husband is because I truly am embarrassed about this whole situation. I am a professional in a professional career where I very much care how others perceive me. The fact that there are rumors like this about me are extremely embarrassing to me. I'm not that kind of person. Optics are important is so stupid, but I agree. I was thinking about starting to look for a new role, but felt reasonably happy with the culture at the current one. This situation honestly just showed me that this is just a job. That there's a bunch of gossipers that are not afraid to stab me in the back, and that I need a fully remote job. Always dreamt of being fully remote but never had the guts to start the job search. This helped a bit. What's the point of being in an office where everything I do is scrutinized? It's exhausting. We have different managers. I am not sure if my boss talked to me because he felt compelled to by the other manager, or because he truly is concerned for me. All of this to say, I am not sure if his manager will talk to him too. I would assume so. Sorry, in other words, I don't know if my manager talked to me out of concern, or because he truly believes there's something that needs to be addressed. In any case, it's a very embarrassing conversation to have with my middle-aged male manager. Thanks for the feedback. Read it and I recommend it to everyone I know. I understand most affairs start at work, but there's nothing remotely sexual or intimate in nature going on. We don't discuss our personal troubles or lean on each other for emotional support, aside from the occasional work rant. I honestly know very little about his actual personal life aside from surface-level things. Like, there isn't an emotional personal aspect here. The key here is that I am not even remotely attracted to my coworker. He's a lot older than me and physically, there isn't any chemistry.